Hey Libra, welcome to your 2022 12-month forecast. This is going to be for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I'm not focusing on love, but since it's a forecast for the whole year, I'm open to love messages should they come in. But we're going to see overall, just in all areas of your life, what messages are coming in for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for 2022. We're going to do one card for each month, and I'll pull 4 cards at a time, and we'll go from there. You guys may be hearing snoring in the background. I do apologize. I rescued a very large dog, and he's very attached to me. He will not leave my side, and he likes to sleep while I'm working, so please bear with me. All right, January. Oopsie. It might help if I could hold on to the cards. January. February. Show us February. No. Show us February. Show us March. Nope. Show us March. Show us April. Okay, so I'm going to pull them 4 months at a time. Okay, so for January, February, March, let's get a little bit closer here, and April. All right, I actually really like these cards. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is this aha moment, and then carrying through with the aha moment and finishing what needs to be finished. So for January, you're coming into the year with Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is very positive. Okay, Ace of Cups is new beginnings. It can also be seen as soulmate love, and those of you setting that intention, that could be a confirmation for you that that is coming in. But overall, Ace of Cups is very deep level of emotional contentment, like just being very happy and satisfied in your heart. It can also be a new home. That might be something some of you are manifesting as a new home. And when I say new home, it doesn't have to be like you're going and you're buying like a, you know, a mansion or like a 5-bedroom house or something. It could be just a nice little studio apartment. It could be just a small little shared space where you have peace of mind, where you're not dealing with drama, where you have heat and air cooling for the hot season, and just like having necessities that maybe you might not have right now. So Ace of Cups is just a happy new beginning, a sense of home, a sense of creativity, a sense of love, just a sense of positive things. And I'm always happy when I see Ace of Cups come up for somebody, because for me in my readings over the years, I've noticed the Ace of Cups tends to come up when you're breaking out of like a karmic cycle where the same thing keeps happening again and again, and you feel like, I just can't catch a break. A lot of you were like, oh my gosh, you know what, 2021 is gonna be my year. 2020 was so horrible. 2021 is gonna be so much better. This is gonna be the year that I change things. And you may feel like, oh man, I just had like another year on repeat. Ace of Cups to me says you're breaking out of that. It's changing. You're breaking out of that. And because you're awake, right? You're telling the universe, you know what, universe, I'm sick of the same old, same old. I'm sick of always finding myself in this situation. I know what the red flags are. Next time I'm going to look out for them. And when I see them from a mile away, I'm going the other direction. I'm not giving these kinds of people my time or energy. I'm not giving these kinds of situations space in my life. I'm done. I want to be happy. Universe says, awesome. Libra's awake. Now Libra is ready to learn life lessons through happiness, joy, support, love, success, creativity, accomplishment, all those wonderful things. So it's like you get to go from the mean teacher class to the fun teacher class. So you're shifting your lessons to where now you're ready to learn through joy instead of learning through pain. right? People always hear karmic lesson and they cringe, right? Because they're like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so painful. When we're in the energy of learning through pain, yeah, we're going to have painful lessons. But when we switch over to the Ace of Cups energy, we're going to have fun lessons. We're going to enjoy lessons. Maybe some of you had a teacher that stands out in your mind from when you were younger that you were like, oh my gosh, that teacher really impacted me, and I loved going to class, or I loved going to school. Or maybe there was a teacher like that in your school and you wish that you had been in that teacher's class. You're going to get to come into the time of where it's fun to learn. You're enjoying learning. It feels good to learn. The next card here for February is we have the Death card. So as such, now that you are very aware of what you want, and now that you are very aware of what you deserve, and you're opening your heart to be happy, you may be experiencing a little bit of ego death in the process, or just feeling like, just these old things don't suit you anymore. It's getting harder to fit in with your usual crowd of friends. It's getting harder to assume the role that your family or friends have imposed on you, right? And what I mean to say by this is, like, a lot of the times families will have like one person or like one child who's supposed to be the responsible child and who's fixing everything and rescuing everybody. One child might be the scapegoat that everybody just kind of blames and takes all their anger out on. One child might be the child that the parent is vicariously living through, right? And it's like nobody asked for these roles. They get put on you when you're a kid. And so I feel, Libra, that a lot of you, it's kind of like you're breaking out of that role. Whatever that role is, whatever that assignment is. I mean, the Death card can be anything, because this is a general reading. It could be leaving a job. It could be making a career change. It could be leaving a relationship. However, the vibe that I'm feeling from this is like your self-image is changing. The way that you see yourself, the way that you perceive yourself, things that you've tolerated in the past, you're not going to tolerate them anymore. And you're just refusing to carry this role or this burden. I feel like a lot of you are shaking out. Like, it just feels to me like you've got these shackles on you and you're like breaking out of the shackles. That's what I'm feeling when I'm looking at the Death card for February. Ace of Cups, I feel in January, is the awakening, and you're getting a taste of this bliss. You're getting a taste of this joy, and you're like, it's impossible. It's impossible for me to stay in the old life, right? It's impossible for me to stay in the old ways. It's like you have this taste of freedom and you can't go back. Maybe some of you are on a temporary leave in January from job, or maybe you have a temporary separation from a relationship, and once you've had that taste of freedom, you're like, in February, you're like, I can't go back. I can't, like, I can't. And so you may be putting an end to something once and for all. There are some people, Libra, for some of you, that you've been very patient with, and you're going to be cutting those people off in February, because it's so negative, it's so draining, it's so like, I just feel like you don't have any patience for anybody who's playing victim. Okay. In March, we have the Nine of Wands. So this is telling me that you're going to have to really kind of stick to your guns here, so to speak. As you're making this decision, as you're moving on, as you're leaving certain situations, there may be people that are trying to pull you back in. There may be people that are trying to convince you that it's going to get better, and, it was just rough for a little while, and now everything is going to be okay, and let's just go back to the way things were. And so you might have to be very firm and stick to your guns, as I said. I do feel for some of you, I hate to say this, but I feel that in the beginning part of this year, some of you are leaving a situation, and the person or organization or company that's trying to hold on to you. I don't know why I'm getting this vibe, but I'm getting this vibe that they're holding money over your head, right? Like maybe it's a family situation and you want to move out and they're saying, oh, well, you know, you can't leave because, you know, you owe me X amount of money, and until you pay me this money, you can't leave, or you can't be going somewhere paying rent somewhere else. Or if it's a relationship, well, if you leave, you can't take the car, and you can't take this, and you can't take that because I got that for you. So you have to, you know, pay me back for that before you leave, or if you're gonna take it with you, you gotta pay me for it. Or if it's a work situation, they might say, oh, well, you know, you're still contractually bound, or you're under an obligation, or, well, we gave you a bonus and you cashed it in January. So, you know, you got to give us the bonus back if you're leaving. Like, I just feel like somehow it's not even about the money. They're just doing it because they're trying to hold on to you. They're trying to hold on to you. They're trying to keep you there. And so the Nine of Wands is you're having to stand strong. Other ones of you, the other scenario here, as you're leaving and as you're letting the dead leaves drop, as Rumi said, and you're kind of going out here into the unknown, in March, you might start to doubt yourself. You might come into times of self-doubt in March, or you might start to think that, oh, this journey stuff is really hard. Like, I was all optimistic. I was all believing in myself in January and February. And now I just kind of feel like, how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take? And you know, what if I made the wrong choice? What if I made the wrong decision? I let go of a lot of people. What if I let the wrong people in? What if I choose the wrong opportunity? What if I choose the wrong job? And I feel like some of you are having these moments of insecurity and like just kind of fearing the worst. But the Nine of Wands comes in with a message. Every single one of those wands in the background in that picture there belonged to someone who came up to this poor guy and picked a fight with him for no reason. We know he got hurt. He got banged up. He's got that bandage around his head. But he's still alert. He's still standing. And he's still ready to fight. And so Nine of Wands says that there is nothing new under the sun that anybody can come at you with. You've seen every lie. You've seen every dirty little trick. You've seen every manipulation. There's absolutely positively nothing new that anybody can come at you with. And your intuition tells you this. How many times have you had a situation where you've met someone and you're like, man, they really remind me of my ex, or they really remind me of my sister, or they really remind me of my cousin, or I went on a job interview and it really reminded me of that one place I worked one time. When you have those moments, your intuition recognized and sensed the energy. And that's your intuition's way of saying, hey, we've been in this class. We've learned this lesson. We don't have to do it again. We don't have to repeat it again. And so you need to pay attention to that. As long as you're paying attention to that little voice that says, this is familiar, you're not going to fall into old traps or repeat old cycles. You have the Ace of Cups here, saying that this is the year where you can break out of those cycles. Nine of Wands in terms of timing also lets you know that you are almost there. 10 is completion. 10 is like you've finished, you're done. You know, you won the game. So 9, I mean, come on. You're going to quit at 9 when you got one more to go? Come on. You're not going to quit at 9 when you have one more to go. Maybe if you had to go 18 or 20 or 50, all right, I could understand you want to quit at 9. But not when 10 is done. Okay? You're very close. You're very close. In fact, here we have in April the Ace of Swords. And one of the keywords for Ace of Swords is victory, even though this isn't the Six of Wands. Maybe some of you are like, I want to see Six of Wands. I want to see Six of Wands. Ace of Swords is still a card of victory. It's cutting through the obstacles. It's, for me, also a card of the crown chakra being unblocked and cleared. So shaking away that controlling negative ego, shaking away the negative self-thoughts, the false beliefs, finding solutions where once you saw problems. It's improving communication. It's just a very all-around positive card. And so even though that negative ego is coming in March, by April, you have a good handle on it and you're seeing progress. I even feel like I'm hearing Teflon, like I'm made of Teflon, I'm titanium. Like I feel that by April, you just feel like there's absolutely positively nothing anybody's gonna do to stop me or hurt my feelings or bring me down. And this is especially true, Libra, for those of you who've been stuck in cycles of people making you do things out of guilting you or shaming you. It's not going to have any effect on you anymore. They can try to guilt you and shame you all they want. It's not going to work, right? That's the feeling I'm getting here with this Ace of Swords. I do feel that some of you in March are going to have a contract offered to you. And it feels to me in terms of like something that feels very big to you, like something that you've been working towards or trying to manifest. So this could be a new job. This could be a book publishing contract. This could be in terms of acquiring property. Wherever it is you're setting your intention, I feel there's a contract being offered to you. I just heard radio show. For some of you, it could be a radio show. But I feel with the Ace of Swords, there's also a message coming in here that you have to look it over carefully. You have to look it over carefully. That doesn't mean that they're, gonna cheat you or they're not gonna pay you well. Some of you are like, what? That's the salary? Or what? That's the cost? Or you're like, all right, show me where to sign. Like you're ready to go for it. But I feel like there might be something here that kind of hinders you, that you might want to negotiate, that you might want to renegotiate, or you might want to have an attorney come in and change the wording. This is very interesting, but for some reason, Spirit is bringing to my mind, gosh, people don't jump on me because, however you feel about the man, I'm not here to say either way about him. And I know that he's been in some controversy, but this point that he shared is a very important story. And that's what I'm focusing on. I'm not promoting anybody. I'm not saying somebody is wonderful or somebody is terrible. But Dave Chappelle was speaking in one of his stand-up acts about when he walked away from the Chappelle show. And then afterwards, when he came back, he couldn't get any royalties or anything off of Netflix having his shows on there. He couldn't use the name Dave Chappelle, his own name. He could not use his name. Because when he signed that contract, one of the things was that they owned the name Dave Chappelle. He didn't know that at the time. He was young. He was a kid. He was like, all right, money's coming in. He literally signed his name away. So I feel in some ways this contract, those of you that this is something about a job, right? Maybe you do something similar on the side and you sign that contract and they're basically saying, well, anything you create from this moment forward is going to be ours. You can't do anything outside, or if you're doing like a show or something, they're going to own your name, things like this. So I feel like you need to make sure that you're having it looked over, more so to just make sure that you're not going to be pigeonholed. You're not going to be stuck in it. You're not going to be like, well, I can't walk away now because they own my business name or they own my personal name, or there's a clause in here that says that if I stop working with them, then I can't be in the industry for 5 years. I feel like you have to be cautious what you're signing. Okay, whatever the situation may be cautious of what you're signing in April. We're going to look at the next 4 months. Please show us May. Please show us June. Please show us July. Please show us August. All right. So May, we have the Temperance card. Oh, one more thing I forgot to say about the Scorpio card in February. If you have a Scorpio placement, there can be really big changes happening for you in those houses or those areas of your life. If you have a Scorpio placement, some of you might be having to set boundaries with the Scorpio, or kind of revisiting a situation with a Scorpio and coming to an understanding or agreement. Okay, so I had to clear that up. So we have May, June, July, and August. Okay. Now, if I'm being honest with you, Libra, in a nutshell, and I'm going to break it down month by month, but in a nutshell, so far, all the cards that I'm looking at give me a feeling and give me a sense that there's success coming to you in 2022. Big success. Like for some of you, it's a very high level in your career. For other ones of you, you have been so, for other ones of you, you have been so stuck and so trapped in a really toxic, negative living situation where you were very dependent and you weren't able to leave, whether it's your family, whether it's a relationship, a marriage with a narcissist, where you've just felt absolutely stuck and unable to leave. And now you're breaking out of it in 2022. Doors are opening up. You're coming into your independence. Some of you are, like I said, hitting a high level of success in your career. But I feel a sense of freedom for Libra in 2022, breaking free. Now, I also see in the cards that your past does not want to let you go. And so they may be saying things or doing things to discourage you. It feels to me like a little bit of like a spiritual warfare. And I'm not saying this to be negative. That doesn't mean that 2022 is going to be terrible, because you have really good things happening for you. Really good things happening for you. But you're going to have to battle the negative ego that wants to come in your mind and make you feel like you're not good enough, or you're some kind of an imposter, and they're going to find out and they're going to fire you, or they're not going to like you anymore. This is a battle in the mind. It's a battle in the mind, and it's the battle of the people around you that just maybe don't want to go away. Some of you might be completely and totally blocking a lot of people on social media. Some of you might be getting rid of your social media altogether. Some of you might be changing your phone number and not giving it out. Some of you might be relocating to put physical distance between yourself and certain people. I feel there's a lot of good victories coming your way, but the battle is going to be the people who don't want you to have it and who are trying to put doubt in your mind, and the negative ego that's putting down in your mind. Because the negative ego hates change. And as we're making really big life-changing steps, it comes in the hardest. So that's going to be the battle that I feel you guys are going to have to fight. But in terms of financial situations in terms of living situations, in terms of friends and relationships, I see a lot of doors opening for you. It's just the energy that's trying to keep you from walking through the doors. You have here in May the Temperance card. This could be Sagittarius energy. If you have a Sagittarius placement, there could be big changes happening for you in those areas of your life or in those houses. Now, the Temperance card is major arcana. Major arcana cards are coming up anytime we're at a big change, a big transition, something we came here to experience. So if we came here to experience it, we can't fail. As long as we keep moving, we can't fail, because our angels and guides are going to be here to help us master these things. And the Temperance card comes in with a sense of like stepping onto a life of purpose, like feeling as though you're being pulled in a certain direction. It can also indicate divine timing in a situation. And Libra, I feel like for a lot of you, there is a dream that you buried a long time ago. You gave up on it. You said it wasn't possible. It may have even come up to you like not that long ago, and you said to yourself, oh, but you know what? It's too late now. If I was going to do it, I should have done it when I was younger, and it's just way too late. Something is happening in May that your angels and guides are like reviving this dream or this hope that you had. And they're saying, this is the time now. You didn't miss the opportunity. It just wasn't time yet. And it's time now. It's time now. And so I feel like a lot of you might feel as though you're a late bloomer, or you're starting this like kind of late in life. But Spirit is saying now is the time that it was meant to happen. You're not too late. Okay? Patience, timing, a sense of purpose. These are all powerful energies coming out of the Temperance card for the month of May. I also feel that there is something that, for some of you, an old idea that has just like been gathering dust, that you're resurrecting. Maybe it's an unfinished novel. Maybe it was an idea for an invention that you just kind of dismissed. But I feel like you're taking it out of the closet or the basement or whatever, and you're putting life back into it. Again, because now is the time. Now is the time for it. For some of you, you were just ahead of your time. And now everything is caught up. Now, in June, you have the Eight of Swords. And Eight of Swords is when we feel stuck or trapped and we're waiting for someone to rescue us. However, Libra, the sense and the feeling that I'm feeling with the Eight of Swords is a lot of you with this idea or this sense of like purpose that you're wanting to step out into that came to you in May. In June, you're feeling stuck and you're looking for the right person. You may be just looking for a friend, someone to promote you or market you, someone to help you with social media stuff, or you may be looking for an investor, like somebody to invest in this project or in this idea. And so you feel like, well, now my hands are tied, right? Like you're feeling discouraged again. This is a whole roller coaster of Libra for 2022. You have these brilliant ideas, these doors opening. You're feeling very excited, very optimistic, and then you're feeling, oh, but it's not gonna work. That's exactly what the negative ego does. I'm telling you, Libra, 2022 is gonna be the battle of the negative ego, and the only way you're gonna win it is if you remind yourself and you're paying attention to your thoughts and you're like, I feel really discouraged right now. I feel really discouraged. I feel really depressed. I feel like this is really hopeless. I feel like these ideas are stupid and they're not going to go anywhere. That's the negative ego. The closer you are to the massive breakthrough, the harder the negative ego comes down at you. If you remember nothing else from this reading, You can ask Archangel Jophiel to help you. Thank you, Archangel Jophiel, for bringing positivity and beauty into my thoughts. Thank you for helping me see myself as heaven sees me. Thank you for helping me love myself as heaven loves me. Thank you for helping me see others as heaven sees them and love them as heaven loves them. Thank you for helping me see the beauty that I possess inwardly and outwardly. Thank you for filling my life with beauty. You can also call on Archangel Michael and ask him to fill your heart with courage, to remove fear from your heart, to fill your heart with love, light, and courage, and to walk with you on the path, to protect you and to shield you from this negativity. You have so many big changes. You have so many big, important things that you're bringing to the table. But it's that negative ego that keeps wanting to pull you back into that Eight of Swords kind of energy. And those of you who are like, oh, well, no, but I still need a partner. I still need somebody. Okay, some of you are going to completely and totally dismiss this message when I'm saying that you don't need anybody. You just take the steps and move forward and things are going to work out. Some of you are like, okay, yeah, whatever, Amethyst. No, I'm going to find a partner to help me with this. I'm going to find an investor. June says, be careful. Be careful what you're showing to people. Be careful what you're sharing with people, because you're going to have people who want to steal your ideas. You might take it, especially if this is something new and you're trying to pitch it or promote it, get it copyrighted. Get it copyrighted, get it protected, because you might go pitch it to someplace and they might say, no, we're not interested, that's never going to work. And then a couple of months later, you see that same cartoon or toy or whatever being launched. Or you find out that that studio is starting a movie along like the story that you pitched, right? So try to get this documented, try to get this work protected so that you're not going to have someone come in and act like they're not interested or it's not a good idea and then turn around and try to use it. For other ones of you who are moving up in your career, August here, the Seven of Swords, is telling you that you're going to have some people that are going to try to trip you up. You may feel like, great, like I got the promotion or I got the job and now things are going well and I'm moving up and my supervisors seem to like me, but there's a lot of tension in the workplace or there's tension with the people I need to work with. Seven of Swords tells me you have to document your work. You have to be cautious because you might have people giving you the wrong information on purpose. And you might not have any way of verifying that, right? If your boss comes in and says, Libra, go sit with this person in this department, they're going to give you an assignment. Make sure you write down notes. Even if you show them the notes and say, well, this is what I was told to do. If you were told wrong and it comes out wrong, that person can still say, well, that's not what I said. That's what you wrote down in your notes, but that's not what I said. Meanwhile, it is what they said. You can follow things up with an email. Hey, thanks for training me today. Just kind of, reiterate here or to confirm our conversation. I'm going to go ahead and take this and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And you go ahead and you do X, Y, and Z because that's what they told you. And then later on, your boss comes and is upset. Libra, why would you do it this way? This is so backwards. This is not how it's supposed to be done. And you're like, well, they told me to do it that way. And that person's like, no, I never said that. Why would I say that? That's not how I do it. And you can pull out the email. You can print it out and say, okay, well, but I emailed you. And I told you that's what I heard. And that's what I understood. How come you didn't correct me? How come you didn't let me know? That way you're covering your behind. You may have to be cautious in the month of August because you might have people that are trying to sabotage you because they feel threatened by you, because you're doing such a good job. Other ones of you, you have big, big, big plans coming in. I feel for some of you Libras, there's like massive money coming in. in 2022, like massive money. Even though 2022 is projected to be kind of a difficult economy, even despite that, I feel like a lot of Libras are going to have a lot of money coming in. And so it could be because of the economy. It's going to be tricky for a while. That you're being encouraged to kind of like not broadcast this, not tell everybody, you know, how much you're getting paid or that this opportunity is coming in. Some of you may have business opportunities coming in because of things you're doing creatively or on social media. And so you may completely and totally hide that person in your personal life. You might not go and broadcast to everybody that you're Hello Kitty 212 on Instagram, or that you are I don't know, whatever YouTuber, or you know, you may kind of try to like conceal that. You may not tell people, right, like what you're doing. Or if you have a really big work opportunity coming in, you might kind of play it humble. You might not tell your friends and family that you're like second in line to the owner of the company all of a sudden because you got a massive promotion. You might not be broadcasting that stuff. And I feel a lot of it is just because it's gonna be some interesting times coming in 2022. And I'm not saying that to scare anybody, and I've said this to the other signs. It might be a good idea for you to check out what the financial experts are saying about 2022 and what are some good ways to prepare. Now, I'm not saying that you got to pull all your money out of the bank and go buy a bunch of gold bars. That's not what I'm saying at all. I have to clarify that because I did a video in 2020 where I was saying that there was going to be an issue with the supply chain and it's a good idea to stock up on food, and I still feel that way, but people took that to mean that I'm saying it's the end of the world, it's the end times, and you have to prepare for the Mad Max revolution. And that's not what I was saying. A lot of people panicked. Right? A financial system, economy has cycles. The same way the weather has cycles. If you turn on the news and the weatherman says, oh, there's a snowstorm coming, you know, you're going to be hunkered down for, you know, about a week. Make sure that you have warm blankets. Make sure that you have plenty of food and water at home. You're not going to go, what a negative weatherman. That weatherman is such a jerk. You know, fear-mongering. That's not what we're talking about. If you look at what the financial experts are saying, this is going to help you prepare. Like, okay, how can I be prepared for that financial climate? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay? So some of you aren't going to have to worry about it because you've got so much money coming in. But again, you might not broadcast it, right? Or you might be like, well, I could go and buy a super fancy car right now, but maybe I don't want my neighbors knowing that I've got that kind of money right now, right? So maybe you're like laying low. September, we have Knight of Wands. And Knight of Wands can sometimes be ultimatum energy. However, the feeling and the sense that I'm getting from Knight of Wands in September, I'm getting a feeling and a sense that you're taking charge of a situation. You're taking matters into your own hands. So this could be about your financial situation if you are struggling. Instead of like looking for jobs that you're not getting any interviews, you might be coming up with an idea or a way to make money. You may be relying on your skills, or you may be putting something together. If you are employed, you may be in a situation where you're taking charge and you're taking leadership over other people because there's a lot of chaos, and so like you're pulling it together. This could be in a family situation for some of you. You're tired of hearing the bickering, you're tired of hearing the arguing, and you're taking charge and you're taking things into your own hands. For those of you who have people who just don't want to let you go and they're not getting it, you may be putting down an ultimatum, and you may be saying to these people, look, I don't know how many times I have to tell you this, but if you're really serious about being in my life, then you're going to start going to therapy with me. We're going to get a counselor to sit down and help us figure out our communication. Because you're not hearing me no matter what I say. I'm not getting through. And I'm tired of having the same situation again and again and again. Some of you, I feel like this is a breaking point in a marriage. There may have been I don't know if I want to say infidelities on both sides, but there may have been some questionable activities on both sides, and so it might keep coming up. And so one of you might be saying like, look, like either we're going to let this go and never bring it up again and start with a clean slate, or we're done. I'm not going to keep paying for it. There's no sense in me keep making you pay for it. Either we're going to put this behind us and never bring it up again, start fresh, or we're done. We're going our separate ways. I just feel like there's this sense of bickering, this sense of arguing, and you don't want to hear it. It's like, okay, shut up, stop, no more. That's the feeling I'm getting from the Knight of Wands. We're going to pull the next 4 cards. Oops, I'm sorry. We're like a little bit blurry here. I got to pay attention to the camera. Let's look at October. No, wait. What did I do here? This is May, June, July, August. I'm sorry. So July was the 7 of Swords. August was the Knight of Wands. Let's look at September, October, November, December. October, we have 5 of Pentacles. November, we have the Hermit. And the Page of Wands. And the Moon. Okay. So September here we have the 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles can indicate unsure economical times. Okay? Not necessarily meaning that it's because of you, right? It's not necessarily meaning that it's only you and everybody else is doing wonderful. It could be all across the board. And so sometimes in these kinds of situations, people get into uncertain self-employment. Some of you might be starting self-employment and you're finding that this is actually bringing you more security than, out there looking for a job or jobs that aren't out there. You may be finding success through self-employment. Now, 5 of Pentacles can also indicate that we're finding at this time our true blue friends. Some of you have heard me refer to the 5 of Pentacles as the Wizard of Oz card, right? Like Dorothy is lost, she's trying to find her way, and along the way she finds this unlikely group of personalities that end up being her soul family. They come together and they get through the hardships, they get through the trials, and they are there for each other, and they have each other's back, and they end up with a lot of, great memories and a very strong bond. So some of you may be experiencing financial hardships because of the economy, but you're not necessarily going to be in it alone. I know that, like, a lot of people are used to watching tarot for love readings. And in a love reading, sometimes the Five of Pentacles can mean being rejected or being shut out. And that can be the case sometimes. But you can look up the meaning of the tarot cards and you can read all you want about the Five of Pentacles. One of the meanings of the Five of Pentacles is a true friend or a faithful lover in hard times. And Libra, I feel like you are manifesting that faithfulness, that truth, like you're getting through those hard times together. You're getting through the challenges together. Some of you might be shutting out the world and deciding to just focus on yourself, because the next card we have here in October is the Hermit. This could be Virgo energy. If any of you have a Virgo placement, there could be big changes, big shifts happening in those areas of your life or in those houses. If this is like a friend or lover or partner that's coming in the hard times, the Hermit card can indicate that this is someone that is holding up a mirror to you and you to them. And there's a lot of learning, awakening, healing that's coming up. And a lot of strength that's coming up. And a lot of awakening. Okay? Some of you are just deciding, you know what? It's a crazy world out there. And I'm working really hard. And I'm not really interested in allowing people in. I'm not really interested in sharing anything with anybody. And you might be feeling like you want to be in this lone wolf energy. Now, the Hermit card can indicate a time alone, but it's not a time of like you're alone against your will. It would be something that you're choosing to do, because the Hermit seeks solitude. The Hermit isn't being in solitude because of rejection. The Hermit is in solitude as a part of the journey and a part of the process and a part of the awakening. Some of you have heard me refer to the Hermit card as like the caterpillar going into the cocoon. And a lot of the times when I see the Hermit, it tells me that you're in the stage of healing where you've done all the hard work. You've done all the hard work, and now all you just need to do is chill out. All you need to do is decompress, disconnect from the negative influences, be in your energy, be in your vibe, be in your space. And just like that little caterpillar is in that cocoon, sleeping, not even trying, not even making any kind of an effort, it's growing these beautiful wings just by resting. And that's what I think of when I see the Hermit. It's like it's that stage of the healing journey. It's that stage of the spiritual process where all you need to do is rest. That's it. You've done all the hard work, and now in that rest is coming the transformation. The wings are starting to sprout. And then that butterfly is going to come out of the cocoon and reach places and see places that the caterpillar couldn't even imagine. The caterpillar couldn't even dream of. Okay? That's what I think of when I see the Hermit. So there could be some soul searching that's happening towards the end of the year, even for those of you that are having a lot of economic success. Some of you are reinventing yourself, and it's going very, very well. Like there's going to be a scary time, but you're reinventing yourself, you're coming back, and it's going to go really well. Other ones of you, you're not going to have any kind of struggle at all. And you're just, having all these good things happening for you financially. But it might make you feel like you want to disconnect from people. And you just kind of want to like find yourself and figure out, what you believe and what you think. And you just kind of might feel like you don't want to have people in your circle. And that Hermit mode for you, you may be disconnecting to figure things out. But the Hermit card for me, as I said, it's the caterpillar in the cocoon about to spread the wings. And then, you go out into the world. So to me, it also has a sense of like, the card before like the soul family. Some of you may be stepping into a position of teacher, mentor, guru. Some of you may have an intense spiritual awakening and you may be doing more spiritual work. You may have a spiritual based business. I am all for it. You know, if you feel inclined to do that, I encourage it. There's so much work coming in. We're coming into a time of awakening. Many people are going to be waking up and looking for guidance and looking for help. We need all the light workers we can get. I am all for it. You know, I can't read for every single person who's going to need a reading in the coming months, right? A lot of people are waking up. A lot of people are looking for guidance, and we need, as I said, all the light workers that we can get. And so some of you may be stepping into spiritually based work. November, we have the Page of Wands, and Page of Wands for me is like a second adolescence, getting your confidence back, being very optimistic about the future, having your inspiration, having your fire. Some of you may be encountering a Page of Wands type person or personality that's kind of like a muse, that's inspiring you, that's pulling you out of that hermit mode that you put yourself into. They're like, come on, let's go have fun. Let's go see the world, you know, kind of energy. The only thing I will say about the Page of Wands energy, this can be a very fun, very dynamic person. So some of you might have someone coming in and pulling you out of your shell, whether it's a relationship, a romantic relationship, or a friendship. The only thing I will say about the Page of Wands is that sometimes the Page of Wands can encourage us a little bit too much, to where later on we're like, oh gosh, I really wish I wouldn't have done that, right? Like that was too far outside of my comfort zone, or that was too far than I wanted to go. Or they're like believing in you and they're like, yeah, your business is going to be so successful. Let's go and like do stuff for your business. And they're encouraging you, and they talk you into spending a bunch of money on like new equipment and stuff. And it might be too much, right? It might be too much because they might be overly zealous or overly excited or overly optimistic. So have fun. Allow this person to bring this whimsy and this excitement and this passion into your life, but at the same time be in control of yourself. Somebody has to be the logical one when Page of Wands is around, and Page of Wands is not going to be the logical one, because Page of Wands is live now, jump now, ask later, right? And so it can be easy to get caught up in that energy, like to go leaping after them, but you're going to have to keep hold of your senses, okay? It's good to have a cheerleader. It's good to have somebody who has your back, but at the end of the day, you're the one who has to deal with the consequences if you invested a ton of money into something and your rent is due the next day and it's going to take time to get that investment back, right? You're the one who would have to deal with that. So just be cautious of this person that is encouraging you. I will say this, I do feel that there's going to be a period of time for the majority of you Libras in 2022 where there's a lot of money coming in. But then I also feel because of the economy and the way things that are going, things are going to get a little bit tricky. So Spirit is saying hold on to it. It's coming in and you're going to have it when you need it. If you can hold on to it, if you're not getting too carried away, if you're not getting too, ambitious, just be balanced with it. Now, what we have in December is the moon, and the moon is could be a time for shadow work, things coming to the surface. It can also indicate connecting with your psychic gifts and abilities and overcoming your fears. This is a powerful message. There is also a Pisces element, Cancer element to the moon. So some of you may be dealing with a Pisces or Cancer in overcoming some fears or some shadow work situation. If you have Pisces or Cancer placements, there could be big changes happening for you in those areas of your life or in those houses as well. I do feel that a lot of you, this is in terms of your intuition. connecting with your intuition, listening to your intuition. I also feel, Libra, you guys are associated with beauty and art, right? And I feel like in December, a lot of you are tapping into that element of the Libra energy. You're realizing how artistic you are. You're realizing how creative you are. I feel like some of you are also, through this shadow work element, having this, like, all of a sudden, this, like, you're rushing through and remembering all of your past lives until now. And some of you are documenting the stories, either through paintings or writing them down, like stories or novels, or through songs or sculptures, or spoken word. I just feel for some of you Libras, for some reason, there's this shadow work that you're doing where you're dealing with buried and repressed things, where all of a sudden your past lives are coming up. And there's also like this awakening in your artistic endeavors and your creativity. I'm sorry, that's my little doggy there. He's having a bit of a dream. I guess that's a confirmation for us. He's remembering his past lives. Baby, you're okay? You're okay, honey. You okay, honey? All right, Libra. So you might be having these memories coming to the surface. I also feel that there's something here for a lot of you Libras in December with the Moon card, that you are like giving yourself closure about experiences that you had, that you never got closure for them, that you never got validation for them. Like you were always made to feel that, oh, well, you're being too sensitive, or you're imagining it and that never happened. I feel like there's some confirmation coming to you through spirit where you're like, I'm not crazy, I didn't imagine it, I'm not being too sensitive, and you're getting closure and you're getting healing, even though the person or the people involved aren't owning up to it and aren't apologizing. Sometimes we feel like we can't heal from something until somebody acknowledges what they did, or until they say sorry, and we're like, it eats us up. But I feel like a lot of you are going to be able to release that, and it's not going to bother you anymore. You may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus sign videos if this is none of those for you. Sometimes that might resonate more than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. I am also offering private 2022 forecasts as well. Like if you want to get a 12-month forecast for yourself specifically, that's available on Calendly as well. Don't forget the weekly forecasts. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Have a wonderful 2020, my dears.